Hi, I'm Patrick Dillon. I'm the CEO of Wise Digital Partners. I'm sitting down again with Carlo Victa, my Director of Operations, who also happens to run our SEO teams and our copy teams. We're here to talk about SEO again today. And one of the biggest and I'd say most frequent questions we get from business owners is, how much does SEO cost? And the answer can be a little complicated, so I want Carlo to break down, what does a proper investment in SEO for a business look like?
How much does SEO cost? Okay, that is a tricky question. That's a good one. And I want to be tricky as well and answer with another question. What will it take to demonstrate to Google your business's expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness? What's it going to take? Because that's what Google is looking for. Those three things I mentioned, it's part of their search quality rater guidelines, and that's ultimately what's going to lead to results, right? You don't want to pay for SEO and then just have nothing happen. What's going to move the needle? If Google is looking for EAT, again, are you an expert? Are you an authority? Are you trustworthy? There is a variety of signals that demonstrate those three things.
So of our client roster, there's a pretty large chunk of our clients that are local businesses. And for local businesses, we know there's like 70 different signals that make up the Google search algorithm. So with that many signals, it seems like a pretty complicated, thing to go about. How do we decide what signals are important, and how do we rank those?
Yeah, and what exactly should you be paying for, right? I love that you mentioned small businesses, because as early as now, I want to say small businesses can win too when it comes to SEO. There is this thought that, I guess I have to be a larger business in order to play and win at the SEO game, and that's not true. I want to use a story to illustrate my answer to this question about signals and ultimately what you want to pay for and how to navigate that. It's going to sound weird, but I love sci-fi, so we're just going to roll with it, all right? Let's say that space travel is accessible to more people and decently affordable, not just for Elon Musk, right? Let's say I have a solid spacesuit business. Now, let's also assume it's a growing industry and there's more competitors that are popping up all the time. So as a business owner, I figure, okay, I guess I should look into SEO and just digital marketing in general. Here's the problem though, as I start talking with different folks, I realize, I just have a crappy one-page website that doesn't do the quality of my spacesuits justice. My website doesn't do justice to the services I can provide, which include spacesuit repair and custom spacesuits. And I recognize that there's questions about spacesuits that consumers and prospects, they ask all the time, that I don't dress them on my website, right? A few other things as I take a look at this foundation that these SEO experts, quote unquote, want to use, my website's really slow. When Google scans my website, Google is having trouble figuring out exactly what's going on and exactly what my business is about and who and where I serve. I've also got 0 reviews, and whatever info exists online outside of my website is conflicting, right? My phone number has changed a few times, and that's inconsistently put out there on the web, and my address might be missing in different spots. So here's the question, right? Pat, if you're a co-owner of this business, is Google going to see our business as an authoritative, trustworthy expert? What do you think?
Well, if it's Wise Digital, I would say yes, because we've been spending years working on all those signals and all that content and all that structure to get found. But I think most local businesses don't have that expertise, have that foresight, have the right partner, have the right budget.
Exactly. And again, as a business owner, if I just give this website, this digital presence off to any old agency or anyone who says they can do SEO, what are they going to be able to do to move the needle? They might tweak a thing here or there, but if we go back to, what is it going to take to move the needle and see results? How much is SEO going to cost in order to see that? The other question is, how serious am I about investing in the growth of my business? Because as I just detailed with my spacesuit company, it's very clear the foundation is not strong. right? So what am I willing to do to move the conversation forward? If I'm not serious, sure, I'll just pay someone, or worse yet, I'll pay like 5 different people who don't talk to one another, who are not under the banner of one strategy, to do this SEO thing here, and can you do this for me? Which, by the way, this is a big problem. There's no common thread of strategy. And so if I do that and just pay a little bit to do SEO one time, different people, call it a day, that's not going to make any noticeable impact. The reality is this: in order to get the attention of Google and users, with my spacesuit company, I'm going to need to expand my content, right? I'm going to need a new website. I'm going to need some pages that represent my services well. You know, you go to my website right now, you wouldn't even know half the stuff I can do. I'm going to need a blog, right? Because I'm going to need to address some of these questions and, again, demonstrate to Google, hey, I'm a leader here. I'm a thought leader here. I'm going to need to think about Google business profile and listings, and send out signals on and off the website that showcase, again, my business is not just alive, we're not just open for business, but we're thriving. And we're in a great position to offer what my target audience is looking for. So, I think some of this kind of makes sense, right? The question of the cost of SEO, it's going to look different for every business. That's not a cop-out. That's just the reality of it. But again, if you ask, am I visible as a business owner in the places where my audience, is looking online? If you're not going to be found, 3 things. It's going to require ongoing work. It's going to require quality content. And it's going to require a cohesive digital strategy to get the most bang for your buck, honestly. And so a conversation about effective SEO, by necessity, has to include things like user experience and quality content and website performance. Otherwise, you're just going to be burning your cash, spinning your wheels. We don't want you to do that. We want you to bet on yourself, but you've got to work with a wise partner and build on a solid foundation.
I think one thing to add to that, Carlo, and that was an awesome, I think, high-level overview of what SEO is and how much it costs, is coming from the sales and strategy side of the business. The way to answer how much SEO costs is really, let's get started with an audit on your business. Let's audit website factors, directory factors, listing factors, review factors, and get an understanding and a benchmark of where your business is now and how well it's set up to begin this work, and also have a conversation around your goals and desired outcomes. Because all of that is going to have to be taken into account when we come up with a plan and a budget.
I love that, Pat. And any old person can run an automated SEO report or audit, but we have real humans that take a look at these websites and are making have really great insights that will determine what actually is going to move the needle.
Carlo, thanks. I think that was a really great overview of what SEO costs, and for the average business owner out there who's looking to get into this for the first time, please reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you, audit your business, and come up with a plan and budget for you.